Tarifa is the perfect setting for this event, as we can see the flat waters here in Balneario, as the water from the Atlantic Ocean meets the Mediterranean Ocean. Carlos Mario is up against Aaron Hadlow in this semi-final, and he starts with a nice front blind mode. This is a real banker move for these guys, but it takes skill and precision to land it well, scoring maximum points. Hadlow's off to the left hand side, left foot forward, and he sticks a Mobe 5 to start things off cleanly. Carlos Mario sticks a Mobe 5 of his own. They're neck and neck at the early stage. Watch Mario here as he completes that last 180, landing to toe side. The starts of these semi-finals are always tense affairs. Riders perform the tricks they're very confident in landing as they get used to the conditions and feel how the wind's blowing at this moment in time. Wow, Mario's had enough of the basics. He's raised the bar with a backside 317, which puts him into the lead. Hadlow on the port tack, bounces into toe side. It's going to be a tootsie roll for Hadlow, but he's just missed the bar. We don't often see that with that move. Mario has a real chance here to build a significant gap. And it looks like he's taking it. He's gone for the 317 and he's stuck it clean. That's such a hard move to perform two handle passes in these tricky 30 knot conditions. What a landing, what great riding from the young Brazilian. Hadlow's got it all to do here if he wants to make the final, and he's gonna need a double. He sets up for a backside 317, but sticks a clean backside 315. That's still a great scorer. Intelligent riding from the former world champion. He's causing problems for Hadlow here, and the young Brazilian is absolutely fearless. He has nothing to lose, he's a quiet guy on the beach, but his kite surfing speaks for itself. Just look how far he travels on one of his moves. That's nearly half the heat area. Hadlow knows it's time to find a double, and that S-Mobe 7 won't score. Mario, on the other hand, has the luxury to consider new moves, and it looks like he's setting up for one. Could this be the first ever Heart Attack 5? No, not quite, and he looks frustrated with himself. Hadlow comes flying into the box, left foot forward. Now's the time he needs the Slim 7, but he just can't make it stick. This one's surely got to be Mario's. And that's a sign of maturity with his riding, going in toe side and landing a Crow Mobe 5. This is a massive score from Mario. Surely we're not going to see him up it. And it's a Slim 7. He's just pulled through it. Wow, this guy rips. He looks ecstatic about that. Boosting one for the crowds, Mario surely advances to the final. Up now at semi-final number 2. Mark Jacobs, looking cash by the riders' tent, is up against Liam Whaley, the Tarifa local. Both these riders look relaxed before this semi-final. It's going to be one hell of a heat. Whaley sets up for his first move. What's it going to be? It's a front blind mobe. He loves to start his heats with this one. I don't think I've ever seen him miss that. It's such a technical move this, but the top guys love this move. Here comes Jacobs then, right foot forwards. It's a hinter mobe from Jacobs, one of his signature tricks. Watch how he fully extends out into the railie, then spins round the last 360, spotting his landing and riding away. But Jacobs has taken the initiative, performing a double heart attack. That was a smooth landing, good riding from the Kiwi. With the wind blowing out to sea, the water remains incredibly flat, giving the riders the perfect opportunity for the big takeoffs. The competition area is marked out by 4 buoys in a square. Riders must take off within the zone to score a trick, but unfortunately for Jacobs, his kite crashes here, which won't count. Whaley still looks in control of this heat, landing a sick Crow Mobe 5. But it doesn't look to have unsettled Jacobs, who lands a nice front blind mobe here. Jacobs is riding well here in Tarifa, and a Mobe 5 really builds his score. Nice onboard shot with the drone. Wow, that was close. Nearly taking out the drone. As Liam Whaley goes for a big move, it's a backside 317. He sticks the kite in the water. And what's this? His kite's deflated. This is bad news for the Tarifa rider. It's his friend Jerome Cloten's who's going to give him his spare kite, but he can only take it if he's outside the box, which he is. Whaley can only watch from the water as Jacobs increases his point total. It's always difficult for the riders losing a kite. In one moment they have power, the next they have nothing. Here's an incredible slow-mo replay of the double half cab. Whaley's got to go all out here, he's surely going to search for a double. Here it is, it's the attempt of a backside 317 and he's just crashed the kite. That's not going to count, there can't be long left of this heat as Jacobs accelerates one more time back into the box. But it's over, I'd hate to call that one, both riders performed brilliantly. And Jacobs takes the win, defeating the current tour leader. That was unlucky for Whaley, but Jacobs deserved that. Over to the ladies now, it's the semi-finals and Tarifa local and world respected rider Gisela Pulido from Spain goes against Brazilian Bruna Kajia. Both these riders know Tarifa well and would love to be up there on the podium. Pulido starts with a nice S-bend to blind, but Kajia responds with an S-bend to blind of her own. Things are tense here in this semi-final, but Gisela Pulido carries on with emphatic style with a lovely S-mo. Here we see that in slow motion. Look how she reverses her rotation and lands backwards. Kajia composes herself and goes for a back mob, but just catches the edge and gets drilled through the water. Pulido knows this place like the back of her hand, and it shows as she goes from strength to strength, pulling off the more difficult moves like the front to blind. Kajia needs to step it up if she wants to make the final, and this front to blind is exactly what the doctor ordered. Pulido sticks a nice backside 313. That's great kite control, keeping it nice and still, spotting her landing and completing the 360 rotation. It's last chance saloon for Kajia, and this back to blind was landed cleanly, but it wasn't enough to get her into the finals. Pulido advances. The second semi-final would see Czech Republic rider Paula Novotná against the current world champion Karolina Winkowska from Poland. The wind really picked up for this heat, and it was Paula Novotná who took the initiative, starting with a nice blind judge. This is intimidating riding, she's really taking it to the world champion. Winkowska opens her heat with an awesome blind judge of her own, gliding through the air. Just checking her speed, Novotná goes for an S-bend to blind. She's crashed over the toe side edge, she's lost her kite. That kite is out of here, she'll need another kite from the beach. And it's Neufont who brings her a spare. I told you we'd see that guy again. Winkowska in the meantime is building up the points. That's a 313 adding to her score. The Czech chargers back in the game, but it's an uphill battle from here. Winkowska seems to be riding with pure confidence. An S-bend to blind scores well. Novotná's setting up for something big here, and it's an S-bend to blind of her own. What a response! And straight into a back roll to blind. What a combo, but she can't make it stick, and that kite goes in the drink. A great heat by both these two, but it's the current world champion, Winkowska, who looks ecstatic to make it to the final. Pulido and Winkowska meet yet again in the ladies' final.